One time my father asked me, "Son, do you know how much you cost me?" I said, "No, it's hard to tell." Dr. Miller was the town doctor for many years. When I was born at the house, Dr. Miller delivered me. After I was delivered, before he left the house, my dad told him, "Doctor, I don't have any money to pay you right now." And he said, "Zeke?" That was my dad's nickname. He said, "Zeke, maybe buy me beer sometime in downtown when you got the money." As soon as he left, my dad gathered up all the money he had around the house, all the change and everything. I think he accumulated something less than $2. Then he went down to the DeFoyle store, which is now the Purple Field. He said, "How much beer can I get for this?" He said, "You can get a 6-pack, 6 bottles." My dad says, "I'm going to pay for a 6-pack, and when Dr. Miller comes in, you give them to him. They're for him." So he said to me, "Actually, you cost me 6 beers."
Anybody want to move here?
Donald Thomas had real character. Now, the main street down the road, it's called Front Street, East Avenue, whatever you want to call it. But the theater, it was called the Southern Theater at one time. It was known as the top theater in the state of West Virginia. It was ultra-modern when I was growing up. Big plush carpeting. That was a beautiful theater. They had a lot of top Hollywood shows coming on. I can especially remember Wild Bill Elliott and Smiling Brunette, and they'd come in and have their live performances. You had Nick's confectionery store. Now that was a character, Nick DeMaio. Sold fresh roasted peanuts. He would roast them, you see. And when he went by, the aroma would just knock you down. Mike Ferruso had a grocery store. Butchered the meat himself. Now Mike, every time he walked by, he would insult me. I was just a kid. Every time he'd see me, he'd say, "Hey Dad, you look like a pig." So one day, I said, I'll get ahead of him first. He was inside. I popped my head inside the door. He was butchering me. I said, "Hey Mike, you look like a pig." He said, "That's all right." He had a hog there. He was butchering, cutting it up. He says, "See this hog right here? People come in and say, 'That's a nice looking pig.' They don't say, 'That's a nice looking cherry.'" And then you had John DeFoyle's store, which is, if you ever go down to the Purple Fiddle, the DeFoyle store was a grocery store. But they usually had about 5 or 6 chairs, and the fellows would get off work or something, and they go buy their beer, and they drink their beer in those chairs. And when Dr. Miller died, John DeFoyle had a chair with a plaque on the back of it, reserved for Dr. Miller. Nobody ever sat in that chair after he died. They just kept it, dusted off, that chair belonged to Dr. Miller. We lived on the street above that, on Spruce Street, in an apartment above the Whipple's Bakery. Oh boy, the aromas from that bakery would come up in your room. His specialty was 1-cent cookies. About as big as, I'd say 6 to 8 inches around, big 1-cent sugar cookies. This dam in Thomas, there was a family called the Tonellis. There were 4 boys, all great athletes. In fact, one of them played football in Thomas High School and got called on to play in Southern California. But Dante was the youngest one. He was a good football player, and as soon as he graduated, he went to work in the strip mines. Every day it was a ritual. We'd wait for Dante to come home from work. He lived across the river, right across from the theater, but he had to go across the bridge to get there. The highway bridge is then a big steel bridge. And every day when he came home from work, he'd go carrying his lunch bucket and pail. He'd go across the bridge, just as black as the ace of spades. He'd go and he'd walk down the bank, down to the dam, lay his bucket down, take off his clothes. He had his swimming trunks on under his clothes. He'd jump in the water. After he'd jump in the water, he'd get out, reach in his bucket, and get a bottle of soap that he'd just start sudsing. Walking up the bank sudsing, as he went. By the time he got back down to the water, he looked like one big suds-a-walk. He'd walk across that bridge, still sudsing and everything, and it was about, I'd say, 60, 65 feet high. He'd go right to the middle of that bridge, step up to the top rail and jump off. He'd hit the water, and the suds would just fly all over. A lot of people said they accused him of causing the ring to be around the river. I'll tell you another one about that dam too. O.B. Collins, Squire Collins, the Justice of the Peace. Now there's a place that we spent all of our time with Squire Collins. Just a tremendous man. He was always arguing with people about this or that. I'll just give you one short episode about him. He was in the store one night, and he was telling all about this fellow who was telling him he had killed a deer. A big deer that had 30 points on it. Squire just looked at him, and Squire said, well, I can almost top that. Last year I was fishing on the railroad tracks in the dam. I hit on something, and I thought it was a snag. I yanked, and finally I yanked it. You know what? I hooked onto an old railroad lantern. Must have been in there 40 years. You know what? The lantern was still burning. And the other guy said, come on, Squire, you can't give us that stuff. Now, Opie Collins was lying. He said, well, I'll tell you what. You knock about 26 points off that deer, and I'll blow out that lantern.